My friends, we all understand the importance of mindset for business, right? If you don't understand the importance of that, then you're probably not going to get too far. But one thing that I have learned is that more than anything, mindset requires maintenance. As you build a company, right, this is you now, and this arbitrary air denotes your trajectory, right? You start here, you end up here. We don't achieve goals, we achieve characters. You want to make 10 grand a month? Don't try to make 10 grand a month. Become he who can, or she who can, or they who can, or it who can. I don't care, right? Become he or she who can. Here's the problem. This is a problem I have had. In the spirit of transparency and honesty, I want you to learn from my mistakes. Once you become he or she who can, you have to remember to maintain it. And this is a problem that I ran into recently. I've spent the last 7 years in pretty much constant pain and suffering. As, you know, I mean psychological pain as a result of meeting painful psychological resistance to do work with my will and effort. Okay, just 7 years of just getting up, not wanting to do something and just doing it. That's how you deserve success. It really just first principles down to that core equation. Growth equals pain. Pain equals resistance plus effort. Have enough resistance and effort, you can run the world, man. 7 years of that. The problem that I forgot is that it doesn't matter how advanced you get. It doesn't matter how far ahead you get in your mind and how developed your mindset becomes. You are by nature a human being. And by nature, all humans have a proclivity towards pain avoidance. So it doesn't matter if you are David Goggins.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
It doesn't matter if you are Ross Edgley, the guy who swam around the UK. Those guys, like, they still, sometimes they're gonna get up in the morning and not gonna want to do something. Like, that feeling doesn't go away. And so I'm making this video for myself more than you, to be honest, because I need to remind myself to do something hard every day. Because when you get to the point where you have a 8-figure income, you've got people working for you, and you've got enough money to effectively retire by your early 20s. If you don't watch out, that pain avoidance thing, it'll fucking get you. It's got me. I don't want to say I'm weak. And that's probably because I don't want my ego isn't going to let me say that on camera. But I am a shell of the person that I was when I was building my companies. Now that I am aware of this, I'm working on redeveloping that killer instinct, if that makes sense. I just want you to know that this is going to happen. And it will happen when you get to 10 grand a month, it will happen when you get to 100 grand a month, and it will happen when you get to $1 million a month. I can't talk for anything beyond that because I haven't been there yet. But I thought that my habits would carry me through, and that my mindset was developed and my paradigm was so solidified. But trust me, man, the pain avoidance thing is powerful. It's like this, you've got this constant pull of your behavior, and it's like you have a bias. Your body and your mind have a natural bias towards pain avoidance, right? Towards just not wanting to do the painful work, right? And if you don't police this bias, and if you don't get up every day and constantly try to overcome it, then over time you will float towards pain avoidance. And here's the thing: what builds character is pain. What destroys character is comfort and pleasure. What would have happened to me if I didn't notice this? Well, it's very simple. I spend 7 years building a company. I become he who can. I become the person that can make 8 figures, build a team of 15 people, build the best product on the market, cultivate attention and traffic, and sit there atop the throne. Although I never want to sit in the throne, because then the only way is down. People want to kill you. I became that person, and what gradually happened as I achieved that, I started to fall off. Just every day, waking up, getting a little bit weaker, gradual, slow. There's contrast misinfluence tendency. It's a cognitive bias that states that human beings are more sensitive to extreme contrast as opposed to slow change. Frog in boiling water. If you put a frog in boiling water, it will jump out, right? It's fucking boiling. But if you put a frog in cold water and then slowly boil the water, the frog won't notice and will probably cook and die. I've been the frog in the cold water, and over time, over the last really 6 months, right, once my program build was finished and the team's now running, blah, 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 I've just been getting weaker and weaker. Just, doing things that I shouldn't. And just slowly, just notice it little bit by little bit. And I haven't let myself go. I haven't completely like gone back to who I was before I built the company. But this bias, you have to imagine every human being has a black hole. I now realise after saying that how strange that sounds. Well, let's not use the word black hole. Let's just use the word object of gravitational pull that destroys. Right? And what happens is like it doesn't matter who you are or how successful you are. This object will always bias your behaviour if you're not making a conscious effort to change it. And I can tell you how I learned this. Right, so I'm in Stockholm. In my Airbnb, I have a sauna and I have a cold plunge. When I was building my first company, sauna and cold plunge, mate, fucking walk in the park. I could sit in a sauna for 20 minutes and sit in a cold plunge for 10, 15 minutes. I'd be a demon, mate. Absolute tank. Just raw character, right? That's what it takes. And, you know, this morning, I got up and I was like, oh, I just don't think I'm going to do it today. And then I caught it and I was like, that is a dangerous statement. That is stupid, man. Enough of that will ruin your business. Because discipline is a universal trait, right? Discipline is a universal filter of behavior. And what that means is that if you don't get in the cold plunge when you're supposed to, then you're not going to do certain work when you're supposed to. As a YouTuber, oh, I hate that word. I can't believe I just called myself that. At least I didn't call myself an influencer. That would make me sick. But as someone who runs a YouTube channel and has some sort of influence over a few people's minds, it's easy for you to, I don't want to use the word godify, but it's easy for you to look at me and think that I must be this paragon of discipline. And the truth is that I am and have the capability to be that, but only when I'm trying. It doesn't come naturally to me. It's not something that just comes out of thin air, that I'm just born with it. It's something that's happened as a result of me practicing, really. Any flaw in the Death Star will kill the Death Star. If you can't go to bed on time, how are you going to build a business? If you can't resist the impulse to check your phone, how are you going to build a business? If you can't delete Instagram, how are you going to build a business? Building a business is way harder than all of those things, and building a business is significantly harder when you've got those things in your life or when you're not doing the things that you should be doing. Business requires more of you than you can currently give. That's brilliant. You're going to be in pain. You're going to suffer. It's going to hurt. You're not going to like it. You're not going to enjoy it. But when you build what you want to build, the first sign of a dying character is complacency. That's how it first manifests. It starts with complacency. In terms of, like for me, the emotional cycle is this. I get complacent and then I start getting angry. Then I start feeling shameful and then I kick into gear. Maybe not shameful. I probably get angry. I don't really feel too much shame because the anger usually motivates me to continue to work. And you might be like, well, Charlie, what are you angry at? Like, I'm angry at myself for getting complacent, right? I am disgustingly conscientious for my sins, right? I am built to work. I am built to perform and be diligent and work myself to the bone and suffer. I love it. And that's my character. That's what I'm here to do, is just work. So when I'm not channeling my conscientious spirit or the calories of conscientiousness, right? When I'm not eating pain and doing hard work, I become quite unhappy and miserable. And you probably resonate with that because people who aren't conscientious typically aren't attracted to building their own companies, right? Because people understand that building a business is going to be hard work, and human beings tend not to embark on endeavors that are out of alignment with the expectations of what they can do in their character, right? So just bear that in mind. If you need more clients, click the first link in the description. Sales video, check it out if you want. If not, don't care. Subscribe if you're new. Take care.